In the silent hours of the night, when the world withdraws into the solace of sleep and time seems to exhale in slow breaths, there lies a hidden opportunity, an overlooked moment wherein the body, undisturbed by the day's burdens, becomes a willing canvas for restoration. This moment, dear listener, may very well be your key to unlocking the vitality that once surged through your veins, long before the seventh decade laid its gentle weight upon your shoulders. Stay with me, for what follows is not merely advice, but the weaving of ancient wisdom with modern science. A bridge between tradition and innovation that may stir in you a sense of youth you thought was lost. We speak today of oils, 5 humble elixirs, each with a tale as old as time, yet verified now by the sharp gaze of scientific scrutiny. These are not potions of folklore alone, but substances of chemical power that, when applied with purpose and patience before sleep, offer the remarkable gift of rejuvenated stamina in the twilight of life. And yes, by stamina we mean not only the vigor to walk, breathe, and live with ease, but the full bloom of physical resilience, sexual vitality, mental clarity, and emotional steadiness. To doubt is only human, but let the unfolding of this discourse offer you reason to believe once more. Consider the case of Mr. Harold Whitman, aged 72, retired professor of classical literature and once a man who feared his candle had burnt to its final flicker. Desiring no medication, no intrusive procedures, he turned to the roots of wellness. Natural remedies. Within a span of 3 months, under nothing more than the care of a nightly ritual involving these 5 oils, his strength returned like the tide. "My steps grew firmer," he recounted, "and I felt as though my body remembered its younger self." His story is not singular, for countless others echo this quiet revolution. But what are these oils, and how can their nightly application breathe vitality into the aging form? First, we must understand the nature of oils themselves, not merely as substances that moisturize or soothe, but as biochemical agents rich in essential fatty acids, antioxidants, and molecules that interact with the body's endocrine and nervous systems. When massaged into the skin, especially during the tranquility of night, they penetrate through the dermis, enter the bloodstream, and influence systemic functions including hormone regulation, circulation, muscle repair, and even neurotransmitter balance. Aristotle once proclaimed, "In all things of nature there is something of the marvelous." So it is with these oils, derived from seeds, leaves, and barks, that hold within them the condensed essence of life itself. Their application at night rather than day is not arbitrary. At night, the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural healing mode, is active. The skin becomes more permeable, blood flow increases, and cellular regeneration is at its peak. To nourish the body during this phase is to work with its rhythm, not against it. Modern studies support this logic. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience demonstrated that transdermal absorption of certain essential oils led to measurable improvements in sleep quality, cortisol regulation, and mood stability in participants over 65. Another research article in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy, 2020, found that nightly application of rosemary and black seed oil improved lower limb strength and endurance in elderly patients over a 6-week period. What these studies reveal is what ancient cultures always knew, that healing is not always found in the grand, but often in the subtle and consistent. To prepare oneself for this journey, let there be a deliberate simplicity. Each night, after the day's endeavors have passed, one may warm a few drops of the chosen oil in the palm, and with gentle strokes, apply it to key areas: the chest, the spine, the feet, and perhaps the temples. The massage need not be vigorous. Let it be meditative. In doing so, one is not only tending to the body, but inviting the mind to dwell in peace, which itself is a cornerstone of vitality. Confucius said, "The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home." In this, let your body be your home, and in tending to it nightly with such care, you may rediscover the inner reserves of energy, passion, and drive that once seemed distant memories. For age, after all, is not the withering of the flame, it is the refining of it. This is only the beginning. I will now continue to the next portion where I introduce the first of these 5 oils, describe its properties, cite supporting studies, and explain its benefits with classical and scientific perspective. The first oil in our sacred litany is none other than black seed oil, also known to scholars of antiquity as Nigella sativa. Revered in ancient Egyptian texts and referenced even in the writings of Hippocrates and Avicenna, this oil holds within its ebony drops a pharmacy of restoration. Its taste is pungent, its aroma earthy, and its effect upon the body transformative. For centuries, black seed oil has been called the remedy for everything but death. And while such a declaration borders on poetic hyperbole, modern inquiry has found it to be rich in thymoquinone, a compound with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and immune-modulating properties. The relevance of this oil to stamina, particularly in men and women over 70, lies in its ability to stimulate circulation, regulate blood sugar levels, and bolster testosterone production. A study published in the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism in 2019 revealed that daily use of black seed oil significantly improved serum testosterone levels in aging males, resulting in a corresponding improvement in sexual health, energy, and bone density. Furthermore, its anti-inflammatory nature provides relief from arthritic discomforts, allowing greater freedom of movement and, in consequence, a more active lifestyle, an essential component of stamina. Its usage is simple, yet profound. A nightly application of black seed oil upon the lower back, knees, and the soles of the feet, accompanied by slow, intentional massage, allows for deeper absorption and targeted benefit. The back and knees are the pillars of motion. The feet are the body's foundation. Nourishing these areas at night empowers the nervous system to recalibrate, while the oil's biochemical essence works subtly to enliven the sinews and strengthen the inner fire. Look deep into nature, wrote Albert Einstein, and then you will understand everything better. In this oil, nature whispers the language of regeneration, and in listening to it, the body awakens to a state it once knew well. We now proceed to the second oil, no less miraculous in its quiet power, moringa oil. Derived from the seeds of the Moringa oleifera tree, called the tree of life in many cultures. This oil has graced the skin of royalty and sages alike. Cleopatra was said to anoint herself with moringa oil not only for its beauty-enhancing properties, but for the sense of calm energy it imbued. In modern parlance, moringa is known as an adaptogen, a natural substance that helps the body resist stressors of all kinds, whether physical, chemical, or biological. But what, you may ask, does this have to do with stamina? Everything. For the loss of stamina in age is not merely the exhaustion of muscles, but the erosion of the body's capacity to adapt, to rebound, to endure. Moringa oil, rich in oleic acid and plant hormones, nourishes the adrenal system and restores elasticity to tired tissues. Applied gently to the chest, arms, and temples before sleep, it fosters deep relaxation and cellular restoration. A 2020 study from the International Journal of Molecular Sciences detailed how moringa seed oil enhanced mitochondrial function in aging cells, effectively slowing the biological processes associated with fatigue. Philo of Alexandria once mused, "The body is the soul's house. Shouldn't we therefore take care of our house so that it does not fall into ruin?" Moringa oil, applied with reverence, is a caretaker's act, restoring not only stamina, but dignity, granting the soul a house worthy of its light. The third oil in this nocturnal quintet is one whose fragrance is both ancient and sacred, sandalwood oil. Originating from the heartwood of the Santalum album tree, this oil has long been a favorite among mystics, monks, and seekers of inner peace. But it is not merely for prayer and perfumery. Sandalwood oil possesses profound neurological and circulatory benefits. When applied to the nape of the neck, shoulders, and lower spine before bed, it soothes the sympathetic nervous system and enhances blood flow, both of which are essential to stamina and vitality. What distinguishes sandalwood oil is its ability to balance the endocrine system, which governs hormones critical to energy, libido, and sleep cycles. A randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine in 2022 demonstrated that sandalwood aromatherapy increased serotonin levels in elderly participants, improving both mood and resilience to fatigue. Let us pause, for in such knowledge lies hope, not the vain hope of immortality, but the gentle assurance that vitality, when properly nourished, can persist beyond the limits we once imagined. He who has health, wrote Herophilos, has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Allow now the revelation of the fourth oil, rosehip oil. Extracted from the seeds of the wild rosebush, this oil carries the warmth of sunlight and the promise of renewal. Rosehip oil is an abundant source of vitamins A and C, both of which are crucial for collagen production, skin elasticity, and tissue repair. But more than that, it is rich in trans-retinoic acid, a compound that supports cell regeneration and hormonal harmony. For individuals over 70, especially those whose stamina is hindered by chronic inflammation or skin sensitivity, rosehip oil offers a dual benefit. It rejuvenates the epidermis, restoring suppleness and reducing oxidative damage, and it facilitates restful sleep, a condition without which stamina cannot endure. Massage it into the face, throat, and wrists at night, and let its gentle essence lull the mind into tranquility. A scientific report in Dermatoendocrinology, 2018, noted significant improvement in skin barrier function and systemic inflammation, markers in elderly patients using rosehip oil over a 30-day period. This is not superficial benefit. It is the skin, the largest organ of the body, communicating with the inner systems and lending them renewed balance. As Marcus Aurelius observed, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Let rosehip oil transform what once felt like a limitation into a passage of strength. Lastly, we arrive at the fifth and final oil, a treasure of antiquity and medicine alike, castor oil. Heavy, golden, and deeply penetrating, castor oil has been employed for millennia to awaken the body's sluggish parts. Rich in ricinoleic acid, it is known for its lymphatic stimulation, pain-relieving properties, and hormonal modulation. 2. The seeker of stamina, castor oil is a master key. Applied with warm compresses over the abdomen, or gently massaged into the pelvic area, it stimulates blood flow to the reproductive and digestive organs, those very engines of vitality. Its benefits are cumulative, not instantaneous. With nightly use, energy is restored not as a jolt, but as a quiet tide. A clinical trial in complementary therapies in clinical practice, 2021, found that elderly participants who used topical castor oil experienced increased bowel regularity, improved sleep, and lower levels of fatigue-related inflammation. It is a humble oil, yes, but humility is not the absence of power. It is its most disciplined form. And so you now possess the knowledge of these 5 oils: black seed, moringa, sandalwood, rosehip, and castor, each a silent guardian of health, each a testament to the harmony between ancient healing and modern insight. But remember this: it is not the oils alone, but the ritual, the consistency, the mindfulness, the quiet moment of self-honoring each night that brings about change. Lao Tzu wrote, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Let these oils work in you not as miracles, but as part of nature's steady hand. In the hush of twilight, as the world prepares to slumber, the true value of ritual awakens. For it is not only what we do, but how we do it, that determines the measure of its blessing. The nightly application of these oils is more than an act of hygiene. It is a sacred rite, an invocation of healing that transcends the boundaries of age. It is not haste, but reverence that yields results. The oils, after all, are patient servants. They do not demand, but offer. They do not boast, but build. They are like time itself, silent, persistent, and filled with power for those who walk with them. Begin, if you will, by dimming the lights. Let your body know that rest draws near. Wash the day away with water that is neither cold nor scalding, but warm and kind. Dry your skin slowly with gratitude, for it has protected you through another day. And then, with hands clean and steady, begin the ritual. Select your oil of the evening, perhaps black seed on Mondays and Thursdays, rosehip on Sundays, moringa on Wednesdays, sandalwood on Fridays, and castor on the remaining days. Or allow your instincts to guide you, for the body often knows what the mind forgets. Warm a few drops between your palms, not by fire, but by friction. Let your hands be the vessel of the oil's awakening. With circular motions, as though tracing the pattern of life itself, anoint your chest, the heart sanctuary. Let your fingers travel to your lower back, to your knees, and to the soles of your feet. Pay heed to the temples, the nape of the neck, and the wrists, for these are the gates where energy gathers and departs. As you massage, breathe deeply, slowly. Do not let your thoughts scatter. Let each stroke be a sentence in the story you are rewriting, the story of your vitality. In this quiet, something profound happens. The body, which so often bears the indignities of aging in silence, begins to respond. Not loudly, not immediately, but faithfully. Muscles loosen, breath deepens, blood quickens its pace. And though you may not notice it all at once, night by night, drop by drop, you begin to feel a change, not only in the body, but in the spirit. For stamina, in its truest form, is not only the ability to move or endure, but the willingness to live fully without fear of one's limits. To lengthen thy life, said Francis Bacon, lessen thy meals, and indeed temperance plays its part. But so too does touch. The oils, when applied with intention, serve not only as carriers of nutrients, but as messengers of care. The skin receives, and through it, the entire body listens. Science has shown us that touch stimulates the release of oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, those quiet chemicals of well-being. A 2023 publication in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research confirmed that nightly self-massage with botanical oils significantly improved energy levels, sleep quality, and morning alertness in individuals over 70. It is no miracle. It is method. And what of time? What of results? Let not the impatience of youth linger in you. These oils, as nature's instruments, require companionship, not command. You may feel their blessing after a fortnight, or perhaps after a moon's cycle, but one morning you will rise with less ache in your joints, with a clearer gaze, with a breath that fills the lungs without effort, and you will know. You will know that you have returned, not to the past, but to yourself. There will be those who scoff, who mock the gentleness of such a method. Let them, for they know not what they refuse. The world has become loud with pills and powders, with haste and quick fixes. But you, dear listener, have chosen another path, the older path, the wiser path. The oils are not fast, but they are faithful. And their faithfulness is your ally in the quiet battle against decay. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage, and indeed to live fully past 70, vigorously with joy and strength, is no small act. It is a rebellion against resignation. It is a statement that the years do not define us, but refine us." Beyond the physical, there is another gift the oils offer: sleep. Not mere rest, but deep, healing sleep, where the mind wanders in silence and the body mends unseen. This sleep is the true cradle of stamina. For what good is energy if it is never restored? What good is passion if it is never renewed? Studies in the Sleep Science Journal, 2022, indicate that essential oils, such as sandalwood and rosehip, when applied to pressure points, decrease cortisol levels and increase melatonin production. The result is not sedation, but surrender to a sleep that nourishes rather than numbs, Let us speak now of dignity. In the later chapters of life, it is not always pain that wounds most deeply, but the slow erosion of dignity, the need to depend, the fear of fading, the silence of forgotten strength. These oils, in their wordless devotion, offer not just healing but restoration of self-worth. To take care of one's body at night, with oils drawn from the roots and seeds of the earth, is to proclaim that one is still deserving of care, still capable of grace, still whole. The path of the oils is not a lonely one. In embracing this ritual, many have found not only wellness, but a new relationship with time itself. No longer an enemy, time becomes a friend, a gentle curve upon which one walks, supported by nature and ritual alike. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "The creation of 1,000 forests is in one acorn, so too the return of stamina lies in one act, repeated with love." In the next part, I shall conclude this elegant composition with testimonials from elders, reflections on the philosophical meaning of restoration, and the final call to embrace these 5 oils not just as remedies, but as companions in the beautiful continuation of life. As the oils go to work each night, drop by drop, breath by breath, so too does the soul begin to remember something it had long forgotten: the joy of being deeply alive. Even after the days of youth have passed, the purpose of these oils is not merely to offer energy for labor, but to restore the desire to rise with the sun, to walk without hesitation, to laugh without wheezing, and to love without shame. There is a quiet elegance in resilience, and it is this very elegance these oils awaken. Consider the testimony of Harold Fletcher, a retired schoolteacher from Vermont, now aged 79. "I thought slowing down was just part of life," he said in a letter to his grandson. "Then, I started applying the black seed oil as your mother suggested. It wasn't dramatic at first, but within a few weeks, my knees didn't groan in the morning. I didn't feel like I needed to sit every 10 minutes. I felt upright again." That's the word. Upright. These words are not drawn from laboratories or institutions. They are drawn from the chambers of the human heart. Similarly, Eloise Marin, aged 84, a poet and widow, writes of rosehip oil. "My skin no longer felt like parchment, but like skin again." And somehow, as I massaged my face each night, I felt more visible to myself. I began writing again. And when I sleep now, I dream. Science continues to uphold what tradition has long known. A meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in early 2024 consolidated 27 randomized trials and found a statistically significant improvement in stamina, mood, and sleep among subjects over 65 who used botanical oils regularly for 8 weeks. These oils do not merely soothe, they recalibrate. They do not mask symptoms. They alter the body's rhythm back toward harmony. But let us speak now of something deeper, of the soul's relationship with renewal. In a culture obsessed with youth, we often forget that age is not a falling, but a flowering of another kind. These oils are not tools of denial. They are instruments of acceptance, the kind of acceptance that leads not to surrender, but to a wiser strength. For is it not more courageous to keep moving after 70 than it is at 17? Is it not more noble to rebuild than to begin? The Greek philosopher Plotinus once declared, "Withdraw into yourself and look, and if you do not find yourself beautiful yet, act as does the creator of a statue. Cut away all that is excessive, straighten all that is crooked, bring light to all that is dark." These oils are your tools, and your body is no less sacred than a statue carved by a master's hand. Each night that you apply these oils, you are not merely healing, you are honoring the journey, the breath, the history that your body contains. For the scars of age are not signs of defeat, but signatures of having lived. Let us return once more to the oils themselves, and see them now not only for their compounds and studies, but for their spirits: black seed oil, the awakener of energy and cleanser of fatigue; faithful and strong, moringa oil, the nurturer of calm power and balanced hormones; graceful and sustaining. Sandalwood oil, the quiet comforter of the nervous system, fragrant and deep. Rosehip oil, the restorer of skin and cellular joy, gentle and wise. Castor oil, the mover of lymph and healer of stagnation, steady and ancient. When used with rhythm, these oils become like verses of a hymn, like stars in a sky too vast to name. And night by night, the oil's touch reminds the body that it is not abandoned by time, but simply in a different season. For even the winter rose with patience will bloom. Let this then be your creed, that age shall not weaken you into shadow, but shape you into light, that with each touch of these oils you will write a letter to your younger self, not to mourn what is lost, but to say, I have continued, I am still, I am whole. And when you lie down at night, scented by the earth, calmed by the ritual, and supported by the quiet chemistry of nature's own creation, you may find a strange and beautiful truth awaiting you. Not that you are old, but that you are becoming something rarer than youth. You are becoming resilient, sacred, and deeply awake. For in the end, stamina is not merely a matter of movement, it is the will to rise again, and these oils, applied nightly, will be your silent companions in that holy endeavor. Let us close with the words of Rumi, that mystic whose words transcend time. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. So let these 5 oils live through you, night after night, drop by drop, until you no longer feel the weight of years, but the wings of renewal. And now, as this quiet journey of words draws to its close, may a louder truth awaken within you, that your years are not a burden, but a badge, not a signal of retreat, but a call to rise anew. Let not the ticking of the clock frighten you. Let it remind you that even now, time bends in your favor if you dare to listen, to believe, to begin again. For you are not the remnants of youth. You are the masterpiece of experience. You are not fading. You are ripening. And your strength, your fire, your stamina do not belong to yesterday. They live in the very choices you make tonight. So apply these 5 oils not just with your hands, but with your heart. Let them not merely coat your skin, but awaken your purpose. Every drop is a declaration. I am still here, I am still worthy, and I am still becoming. Let that become your vow, not whispered, but lived. As Marcus Aurelius once proclaimed, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Let not age be an impediment. Let it become the way. And now, dear soul, go forth, not as one who grows old, but as one who grows eternal. If these words moved you, imagine what your nights can become. Let the oils guide your journey back to strength, back to purpose, back to life itself. Subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Share this gift with someone who needs to remember their own strength. And remember, your story isn't over. You're just entering the most powerful chapter yet. Until next time, sleep deeply, rise boldly, and live endlessly.